As we think about the future of entertainment technology, be it in the cinema, the home theater, a tablet, or a phone, the ultimate goal is to deliver the content creator's intent created in the mastering suite to the consumer on multiple different devices. We know that the human eye is capable of seeing so much more than is currently offered on standard dynamic range televisions at approximately 100 nits of brightness and a very limited color space known as Rec. 709, and or in the cinema at 48 nits of brightness with a better P3 color space, also known as DCI. We commonly hear about 4K and higher resolution or more pixels improving the experience. There is also a discussion around the higher frame rates or faster pixels making the entertainment experience more compelling. While Dolby certainly supports more and faster pixels, we've focused over 10 years of research, testing, and development into improving the third and fourth areas of imaging. That is specifically more contrast with higher dynamic range and a wider color gamut than is currently available in today's cinemas or current range of HD TVs. In simpler terms, better pixels. This is Dolby Vision. You can experience it today at a Dolby Cinema, our premium large format theatrical experience, offering 4K HDR and wide color gamut images with the exclusive Dolby Vision projection system in 2D and 3D. Where most standard theatrical DCI projectors offer a contrast ratio of roughly 2,000 to 1, the Dolby Vision projectors offer a staggering 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. This is possible because Dolby has more than doubled the light levels available from the industry standard 10 to 14 foot Lamberts to 31 foot Lamberts and black levels that are truly black with the Vision system. This is coupled together with the Dolby Atmos sound system for a completely immersive experience. Dolby Vision is also now available in the home with Dolby Vision equipped televisions streaming Netflix, Vudu, and Amazon Instant Video. High dynamic range and a wider color gamut are here today, and both content creators and consumers alike are extremely positive about the value and the experience. Dolby Vision is achieved in an end-to-end ecosystem, starting from production at the camera and ending with the consumer experience. It integrates into each step of the post-production workflow and offers the best solution for maintaining the creative intent all the way to the audience, and it can be accomplished with other needed deliverables in a streamlined way. So now that you know a bit about the basics of what Dolby Vision is and how it's currently available to the consumer, let's dive in deeper on the workflow to create compelling Dolby Vision content. So starting in production, let's take a look at what's needed on set. Today's digital cameras have the ability to capture fantastic high dynamic range images. Tests have shown that the latitude or contrast ratio of digital cinema cameras ranges from 11 to 15 stops. The higher the number of stops in a camera, the higher the dynamic range it can capture. One needs to ensure that the dynamic range of the image data is maintained as it moves from capture to dailies on into editorial, VFX, and final image grading. For the best Dolby Vision content, we recommend that you use a minimum 444 RGB 12-bit quality throughout the production and post-production pipeline. This includes the ability on set to monitor in HDR so that there are no surprises later on in post as to what was really captured. Ultimately, the best image workflow is to preserve the camera raw data through the final mastering process. Traditional film cameras have always had the ability to acquire high dynamic range images. The same attention to workflow is needed during the digital intermediate process to ensure that the film is scanned to a preferred ACES 80X 16-bit log quality. Visual effects are a big part of the modern filmmaking process, and VFX tools already support 16-bit images and the open EXR image format. HDR monitors should be used at review stations to allow the artists to experience the full dynamic range of their shots before they go out. Color grading and mastering for Dolby Vision creates an HDR and wide color gamut master along with dynamic metadata generated by the colorist. Dynamic metadata is Dolby's solution to best preserve the dynamic range and wider color gamut and deliver the artistic intent of the filmmaker on different consumer displays. The Dolby Vision master can be created by these top color grading systems: Baselight, Resolve, Luster, and Film Master. These tools are being used today to create Dolby Vision Cinema DCP masters and also Dolby Vision Home masters with over 100 titles to date. A Dolby Vision mastering monitor is specified to have a minimum peak brightness of 1000 nits, a contrast ratio of at least 200,000 to 1, P3 as the minimum color gamut, and supports SMPTE 2084 or PQ. The higher the peak brightness, the contrast ratio, and the wider the color gamut, the bigger the artistic palette is available to create the master image. The colorist uses the full tool set of the color grading system to create their Dolby Vision master. After the master grade is complete, the colorist selects Analyze in the Dolby Vision tools built into the color grading system to analyze the grade on a frame-by-frame and shot-by-shot basis to generate the dynamic metadata. This is a critical step and is exclusive to Dolby Vision. This also helps save time for other key deliverables, which we will discuss shortly. The Dolby Vision master and new metadata are output of the color grading system into the CMU, or content mapping unit, which in real time remaps or retargets the master grade to a Rec. 709 reference monitor at 100 nits. The colorist can then use the Dolby Vision tools in the color grading system to adjust or make a trim pass to the metadata to ensure that the artistic intent of the image is most accurately transferred to the standard dynamic range version. It's important to understand that by creating the Dolby Vision master grade at 1000 nits and the Rec. 709 analysis and trim pass at 100 nits, Dolby Vision's core technology can best map every display in between, given the profiles of that playback device. Colorists also agree that this process creates a higher quality standard dynamic range Rec. 709 version than if they had spent the extra time to do so in a separate grade. We have now created the two key components of the Dolby Vision master. First, the Dolby Vision HDR image master, which is exported as a 16-bit TIFF image sequence, and second, the Dolby Vision XML metadata. These two components are then wrapped via the mezzanator into the Dolby Vision mezzanine as an MXF file with 12-bit RGB JPEG 2000 files and XML to be sent for QC, final encoding, and ultimately distribution to the home. This same Dolby Vision master allows you to create or render out your other key deliverables. By using the Dolby Vision metadata and the Dolby CM offline process, you can render other HDR formats and a Rec. 709 standard dynamic range deliverable. This makes Dolby Vision workflows the best choice to deliver all needed options for formats on the market today. Editing tools are used to create version deliverables localized for language, censorship, and creative changes, sometimes after the color grade. Editing systems need to maintain the metadata in sync with the timeline while editing, ensuring the integrity of the Dolby Vision playback. Currently, the following companies support editing and mezzanine creation of Dolby Vision masters: Colorfront's Transcoder, MTI's Cortex, Roden Schwartz Clipster, and GIC's DVP. These same tools can also be used with a CMU and a Rec. 709 monitor to do a real-time QC of the mezzanine file. If there are any problems between the picture and the metadata sync, it will appear as luminance flashes on the Rec. 709 monitor. The CM offline can also be used as a non-real-time way to perform the same QC checks. The CM offline generates the Rec. 709 target image sequence, which can be viewed to reveal any problems between the picture and the metadata. This workflow is viable, but more time-consuming. So we hope that you can see how Dolby Vision optimizes content and easily integrates into each step of the production and post-production workflow. Dolby Vision is the most forward-thinking solution for maintaining the creative's intent all the way from the lens to the consumer experience in the cinema or at home. The Dolby Vision content solution tools and development kits are now available for post houses and developers worldwide. Please contact us for more information on how to get started today. Thank you for watching.